Well, hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you on this great show here, Inspirations for Your Life. And I wanted to welcome everyone, but I did want to let everyone know we were streaming to TikTok, and last night we were not able to. It seems that at 10:30 p.m. Last night, TikTok actually was taken down. So you might say, gee, this is great that TikTok actually follow compliancy and they actually, took their servers down basically a whole day earlier. They're not supposed to be offline until midnight of tonight, January 19, 2025. So, they took themselves offline a lot earlier than they were supposed to. But the question is, why did TikTok go down? It actually, it's coming from the fact that it wasn't TikTok. It was the law banning TikTok being enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, it means that you can't use TikTok for now. So the TikTok action comes after the Supreme Court on Friday had upheld a ban that was passed with broad bipartisan support in Congress and signed into law in April. Okay. So TikTok shuts down the United States on January 18th. TikTok went offline in the United States Saturday night, less than 2 hours before the ban. So they had to be offline. Actually, it was midnight, so they had to be off by the 19th. So they were off 2 hours earlier. And so what does it really mean? It means that, first of all, we're not streaming because we can't stream to them. We can't post to them anymore because that's that. I can still look at the app and I can still play videos, but eventually the scrolling and things may stop working. So they're saying that President-elect Trump said he most likely will delay a ban on TikTok for 90 days after he takes office on Monday. It's an option. The 90-day extension is something that will be most likely done because it's appropriate. But we have to look at it carefully. It's a very big situation, Trump said in his interview. If he decides to do that, he'll probably announce it on Monday. The blackout from TikTok and the suggestion that it could soon restore its service is the latest twist in the saga that it dragged on for months, leaving the fate on the app in limbo. The app also has disappeared from Apple's App Store and Google Play Store, and other apps owned by TikTok parent company ByteDance, including CapCut, also displayed a similar message Saturday night. Lawmakers said TikTok's ties to China and its access to reams of data posed a threat to national security. So maybe some things have to be looked at there. So again, I have not gotten the message that said that I can't look at my TikTok or other TikTok, but I have not been able to post to TikTok or anything like that. So, that's kind of what's going on. But welcome, everyone, to Inspirations for Your Life. So that's why we're not on TikTok and we're not posting there. We'll just have to keep you abreast of what's happening. Welcome, everyone. Do grab yourself maybe something juicy or delicious from the kitchen. Maybe it's hot, maybe it's cold, maybe it's a drink, maybe it's something sweet, maybe it's something sour, maybe it's some fruit. Anyway, welcome to Inspirations for Your Life, where our master topic, ladies and gentlemen, this week is the art of resourcefulness, unlocking creative solutions. And tonight, our granular topic is turning challenges into opportunities. All right, so let's just dive right in, shall we? Why not? All right, so welcome, everyone, if I haven't welcomed you enough, to Inspirations for Your Life podcast, hosted by myself, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. So in tonight's episode, I'm going to dive deep into how adopting a solution-oriented mindset can transform not only your personal life, but your professional one too. I'm going to explore key strategies for focusing on solutions, staying positive in the face of setbacks, and adapting to change. If you're ready to elevate your approach and make your challenges work for you, well, this episode is packed with those really juicy nuggets and insights that will basically spark creativity, resilience, and growth in you. So definitely pay attention tonight, all right? All right, so number one, focus on solutions, not problems. Shift your perspective to prioritize finding solutions rather than getting stuck in the problem itself. And I have to tell you, when you adopt this mindset, it's like the world just kind of changes. And, it doesn't happen overnight. All right. That's what it doesn't happen overnight. but it does happen in such a way that you start to get more hope for things. So I think that's a really, really, cool thing, everyone. A really, really cool thing. So, again, focus on your solution, not the problem. All right. Number two, shift from reactive to proactive. Take charge of situations before they escalate. Anticipate challenges and approach them head on with confidence. Now, after I get through going through all these different points, I'm going to give you stories for each one of them. All right. So it's a shift. Number three. Number three is a really good one. Number three is encourage creativity and innovation in problem solving. Think outside the box, right? Innovate thinking, and in that special way can open up to new pathways to resolve issues in more effective ways. That's the truth, right? So I like to say I don't think outside the box. I've literally crushed the box. I've thrown the box away. So forget being outside it. The box doesn't even exist anymore to me, right? A box is the whole mental concept that you only can operate within these certain parameters, right? That's kind of what the box means. So I just crushed the box. The box is gone. All right. Number four, you've got to stay positive and forward thinking. Even during setbacks, embrace optimism. View setbacks as temporary and stay focused on the bigger picture of growth and progress. I know that might sound like something that's impossible, but trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you can do this. It is something within your capability you are able to do. You've just got to believe in yourself. All right. So stay positive. Keep the forward thinking to knowing what you want, and even if those setbacks come in, as I said before, tough times never last, but tough people do. Remember that. Number five, take ownership of challenges and work towards resolutions. Don't shy away from difficulties. Take responsibilities and make it your mission to find a resolution. Because if that's your mission, you will find a resolution. I mean, that's just the way it works, right? Take ownership. Number six, view obstacles as opportunities for growth and learning. See them as stepping stones. Obstacles are stepping stones for personal development as well as business developments. Use each challenge as a chance to learn and improve. Number seven, maintain a results driven approach to overcome difficulties. Keep your eye on the end promise or goal. Stay committed to achieving the desired outcomes. No matter the obstacles you face, keep focused on the outcome that you want. Number eight, be adaptable and open to new strategies for solving issues. Flexibility is key. So be adaptable and open to new strategies for solving issues. Flexibility is key. Be willing to adjust your approach and try new methods to find the best solutions. So those are the points. Now I'm going to go through each one of them and kind of give you a story, because I know that when we talk about these points, they might seem immaterial and they might seem confusing. Like, how do I know what I'm supposed to do? Like, how, right? How is that even possible? And I think it comes down to the fact that it comes from the belief, right? It comes from the belief. The belief is what really matters. And so if we understand the belief, okay, then we are halfway there. We are halfway there. If we are halfway there, then that's really, really good. Okay. I mean, that is like so good. It's like, it's amazing how good that is, because see, when we get this feeling inside of us that makes us feel really good, that is a push, an additional fuel that allows us to move forward in our life. It's mental encouragement is what it is. And so a lot of people when they think of things, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this isn't possible. This is possible. This isn't possible." But I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things are possible. Okay, a lot of things are possible. But if you don't understand that your mind is what makes these differences, your mind makes these differences, and these subtle awarenesses that come, okay, are what will give you not only the strength, but the ability to see that there's something else out there. All right. So I'm going to go through every one of these point by point, and I'm going to give you some stories because what I found is that we learn in life from stories. Stories are really, really good. And so I understand that maybe when we talk about a point, it could be hard. Okay. Um, and I want you to understand that when we dive into this and we dive into focus on solutions, many people, when they have a challenge, it could be a math problem, it could be a relationship issue, it could be a financial issue, it could be some other kind of growth issue. So many people look at the fact that this is going wrong, that's going wrong, and I just keep looking at all the things that are wrong, and I never look at like what can I do to solve this. So the question I always ask people is, what would it look like once this problem is solved? What will it feel like? Um, what kind of question should I ask myself to get an answer to solve this problem? Right. So you shift your perspective to move from, you know, dragging in the mud to saying that this is just a problem to now saying, I need a solution to it. Okay. I need a solution to it. So you make that subtle shift in your perspective to prioritize now finding solutions rather than getting stuck in the problem itself. And I think that's a very, very big thing that a lot of people maybe don't understand, but it's something I want to tell you is really important. All right. So I hope that makes sense for you. So a good example of focusing on this on the solution might be, like I said, a math problem. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Well, what way could I look at it? What could I do differently to allow me to see the problem in another light? Right? Kind of like creatively play with your mind. In the second point, shift from a reactive mind to a proactive one. This is one of my favorites. I've got a couple stories on this. So, one is fire prevention, right? If you take the steps now to be proactive, like to plan an escape route, to make sure that you have the correct fire extinguishers that could put out an ABC fire, depending on where you are, home or business. Uh, to make sure that your smoke detectors have the batteries changed twice a year, or to make sure that they're changed every 5 years, like the new ones now, the rechargeable NiCad batteries, they last like 5 years. To make sure that you test them, that they work, right? And also to make sure you have fire drills regularly. Maybe that's with your family, maybe that's quarterly, maybe it's monthly, right? The whole idea is to get people comfortable being uncomfortable. That's number one. But number two is if you move from the proactive mindset, okay, as opposed to being reactive, it's going to be a lot more calmer. Things are going to work easier for you because now you're not reactive. You're not at fight or flight stage. You're at the stage where it's like, okay, what would I do in that condition or that situation? And I have time to think, right? So another one is computers. Be proactive. Have a company like JMOR do your maintenance. Make sure you have good antivirus, spyware, ransomware software solutions, good endpoint management protection, which covers all that. And make sure you've adopted a good, smart strategy for securing your passwords. Use two-factor authentication and stuff like that. This isn't an IT show, but I wanted to give you these things. So now, if you act in that manner, Then when something happens, oh, also maybe doing your backups as well. So if you act in this manner, then what's going to happen when something happens, if it ever does, you're protected. You have your backup and you're not going to be really affected by it. If you're reactive and something like this happens, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? We suddenly got hit by this Trojan, or we suddenly got hit by this ransomware attack. What am I going to do? Where's all my data? And you're like going crazy with your head barely staying on you. And that's happening because you didn't decide to become um, proactive. You decided to be reactive. So when we're proactive, we are a lot calmer. And in that process, we are able to think clearly. All right. The same thing happens, you can even say with studies, right? Rather than being reactive the night before the test of, oh my gosh, what do I have to learn? I'm going to be proactive. I want to be learning all the time so that I understand the material way before the test, right? The test is there to measure how well I know, but really, I don't want to learn for the test. I want to learn for life. So, yes, I want to do very well in the test, but I don't want to learn this information for the test. I want to learn it so I retain it for life, so I know it. All right. So, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense with you guys to, be proactive rather than reactive. By the way, doing that with a fire could actually save your life. Um, Also, another one is the active shooter. Where it's run, hide, and then fight. Right, those are the steps. So, number 3, encourage creativity and innovation in problem solving. Think outside the box. Innovate thinking in a way that can get you connected to new pathways to resolve issues in a more effective way. Many people say, I've got to think outside this box, right? But I need to just crush the box and just do the thinking without the box, right? There is no more box. The box is gone, right? And that basically means that I'm not confined by a set of principles. I'm not confined by a set of rules or certain doctrines, right? I can do what I need to do to be creative. All right. Pretty easy on that, right? So maybe you're working on a design project and or a logo project or a marketing project, and you're all in this box. Well, get out of the box. Just get out of the box and just think of an entirely different way to market your event, different than what was ever done before. All right. Forget the traditional marketing. Do something that wasn't done before in a different way. Number 4, again, stay positive and forward. When you have setbacks, and you will have them, I want you to just figure out how you can push the pedal forward, how you can keep the momentum moving. All right. See a setback as something temporary. Like I said to you, tough times never last, but tough people always do. Stay focused on the bigger picture of growth and progress. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but if you get your mind into the state on a regular basis and you get proactive, your mind's not going to need to be reactive because you're going to have all the answers that you could ever want. All right, that's important, ladies and gentlemen. That is really, really important. So, one place where you might be positive is maybe you're in some debt. Stay positive and know that you're working on a payment plan and you're getting out of it. Okay. View the setback as only temporary and stay focused on the bigger picture of growth and progress. Number 5 is one of my favorites, as I said, take ownership of the challenge. So I'm going to give you an example of this. Maybe you've called a company. It could be Amazon. It could be Joe Schmo's company, whatever it is. Whenever I get a challenge or whenever one of our client service representatives get a challenge, I tell everyone when you get it, you need to own it. Now, when you own that challenge, even if you can't solve it, you've got to make sure that it is resolved from the time it's logged, to the time it's solved. Even if you have to interface with different people, you have to make sure it's resolved. All right. Even if you can't do it, you're just kind of like the point person, making sure that everyone is doing what they need to do. Right. Like certain deliveries, certain upgrades, etc. Or maybe it's a furniture delivery, whatever it is. Maybe it was you got the wrong size for the clothing, and this lady couldn't help you with it. Then somebody's got to take ownership of that. Like, for example, I got hookah shoes for Christmas, sneakers, and I got the wrong size because I thought 10.5D was my size, and it is in loafers, but it's not in these hookah sneakers. It's actually an 11 because my toe was like touching the end. And so this lady was very nice and she took ownership through it. And she told me everything she was going to do and everything I had to do. And she asked if I had any more questions. And she made sure that my issue was going to be resolved once I sent the sneakers in. She took care of getting me the label and all this great stuff, and she owned the problem. The reason why a lot of companies have challenges with their clients and customers is because they don't take ownership. Oh, that's not my problem. That's Joe's problem. That's Mary's problem. That's the boss's problem. That's Sarah's problem. That's the vendor's problem. Oh, that's the building's problem. That's the weather issue. They just blame it on everything else. Oh, that's the car issue. That's the shipper. Well, I get that there's all these things that could be part of it, but I always say this, and I want to say this to you clearly. If you're not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. So remember to be part of the solution. Okay. Just another word of saying what we've been saying before. So remember to take ownership of any challenge you get. Don't shy away. If you don't know how to do it, ask somebody. Doesn't mean you have to solve it all by yourself. You can get help. Take responsibility and make it your mission to find a resolution. Maybe that's contacting your supervisor. Maybe that's contacting a tech support rep. Maybe it's checking with the outside shipper. Whatever it is you need to do, then you need to follow back up with the client and let them know this is the steps that we're taking. That's it. Okay. I love that number 5. I wish more companies would follow that number 5. If they did, I think people would be a lot happier. I really do. I think people would be a lot happier. All right. So, number 6. You're going to see obstacles. Okay. But see the obstacle as an opportunity for growth and learning. Obstacles are stepping stones for personal and for business development. Use each challenge as a chance to learn and improve. I'm going to give you an example. So, you guys know I'm studying for my master's in AI. And so I started with the first chapter, which was really easy. And then I found out they weren't going to cover the first chapter. They're starting with chapters 2 through 6, and the book's like 1 through 12 or something like that. So, anyway, in chapter 2, first part was very easy. Then we got to some parts that seemed a little bit trickier. So I wrote them down. I took a couple notes. I drew some diagrams, and I got through it. Now, there's another section which I know is going to require some memorization, so I'm working on that next. But I'm just taking it step by step by step. The thing that is a little challenging is that my course is over in May, and it's January. So January to February, February to March, March to April, May. That's 4 months. Okay. January, February, March, April, May. It's really 4 months because we're not really going into May. So that's 120 days that I have to learn this material. Again, taking the approach that the instructor, presents it to me and I already know it, well, that's a great thing. So taking the ownership, as we did before, to make sure I pre-learn the material a little bit is a good way to make sure that I learn it, right? So view obstacles as opportunities and just move from that, because when you see that, it's pretty amazing. Maintain results-driven approach. So you guys know that I put out many promises for myself that I want to achieve, both weekly and monthly and quarterly and yearly. And I'm looking at the results. One of the things I'm doing is doing some new SEO for our sites, putting a lot of blogs together. with the right amount of words, anywhere from 500 to 2,500, depending. Getting the right keywords, getting titles, SEO information, etc., for the right tags and stuff like that. And so just doing that and then checking the Google Search Console to see, am I getting more search results? Are these keywords popping up? Yes, no, right? Number 8, which is the last point. Be adaptable and open to new strategies for solving issues. Flexibility is key. Be willing to adjust your approach and try new methods to find the best solution. Now, there's a lot of times when people say, "Hey, John, I I don't have the answer to your problem." And so sometimes you don't need an answer, but sometimes you might just need someone that can give you some input, right? And if somebody could give you some input, I think that would at least get you to realize that there's potential. There's potential in your life. And so just collaborating with somebody might seem like a big task, but it's not once you get started. Remember, a big journey always starts with the first step. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out believemeachieve.com. More of my amazing, inspiring creations.